the common rail have pressure all the time. For that reason, it's very, very, very important the pressure regulator on the fuel injection pump. This is an schematic about the common rail fuel injection system, electronic. We are going to refresh quickly the process. We have the fuel tank. The fuel tank have the supply line and the return line. All right? The supply line have the transfer pump. The transfer pump can be located here, or here, or here, doesn't matter. Okay. Remember that we have an electrical transfer pump, 12 volts or 24 volts, and we have the manual priming pump or lifting pump. Okay? We have the transfer pump. The power is coming from the ignition switch or is coming from the computer, the ECM in the computer. Right now, we are going to check a typical wiring diagram in a common rail system, and we are going to check where are coming those wires. All right, this is the situation, and the fuel, this is the input of the fuel injection pump, and this is the output. The output enter in the pressure, in the high pressure manifold, and that manifold have a pressure regulator. And normally in the other end, that manifold, in some cases, the manifold have located here a pressure gauge. The pressure gauge is located over there in order to read the pressure of the system. Okay, this is the wiring diagram. This is a typical schematic where you founded that wiring diagram, that schematic. Yes, in the service manual. In the service manual of that particular engine, you founded that schematic. My friend, in my opinion, this is the Bible. If you have the schematic, you can do the diagnosis easily. Don't try to do the diagnosis in any type of diesel engine if you don't have the wiring schematic of the fuel system. This is the wiring schematic of the engine. Let me check one per one. This is the plug on the computer. The computer that you have on the screen, exactly. That computer, they have that plug, and this is the harness. The harness enter over there. Those are the pins. Those are the pins that we are going to check according with the socket on the computer. Oh, look at the MAP sensor, manifold absolute pressure sensor. That's critical. That sensor send the signal to the computer and receive signal from the computer in order to control RPMs, in order to control the wastegate on the turbocharger. In the next episode, I am going to explain the turbocharger. Yes, that's the MAP sensor, and the pins are one pin ground, other pin signal, the pin 71, and other pin constant power coming from the computer, 12 volts, coming from the pin 44. Marvelous. Yeah. And the other one, at the pressure regulator at the common rail. Yeah, the pressure regulator. The signal is coming from the pin number 74. This is the coolant temperature sensor. This is the ground. This is the signal. The signal is in the pin 46. If I have a code related with temperature, coolant temperature, the sensor is located in the pin 46. I want to read that picture. That picture is of a typical diesel engine with a turbocharger. If you check, this is the exhaust manifold. The exhaust manifold goes into the hot area of a hot section of the turbocharger, spin the turbocharger, and the other impeller in the other side suction the air from the air filter. The air filter is located here, and the air at high pressure pass through the intercooler in order to reduce the temperature of the air. The air continue. We have the air intake air temperature sensor here, and the air continue and enter in the combustion chamber with the appropriate pressure and temperature. All right, and the fuel. We have the fuel tank. We have the transfer pump. The transfer pump bring the fuel, and the fuel enter in the fuel injection pump. The fuel injection pump increase the pressure of the fuel at high pressure. The fuel enter with high pressure in the common rail, and from the common rail, the fuel enter in each injector. Each injector have input in one side and return into the other side. This is one of the returns. Other return is coming. Look, one return from the injector, other return from the injection pump, and other return from the common rail. We have three returns. One return, yellow one, from the common rail, other return from the pump, and other return from the injectors. All of them converge in one point and return into the fuel tank. It's problems on the turbo or problems on the valves, Or, of course, if all the piston rings are broken, the oil penetrates. Normally, in normal conditions, the oil never penetrates through the piston rings because the bottom piston ring oil controller returns the oil into the oil pan. You remember in that chapter 8, about the lubrication system? Alright. Okay, possibilities for white or blue smoke and proper gasoline. The tank is empty, air in the system, fuel filter block, injection lines block. Exactly the same possibilities plus the additional possibilities that I gave to you right now.